Hey folks, Silver Stacking Pro here with a video on risk, reward, and the actual precious metal money makers. Okay, so the video basically focuses around how if you take more risk, you can actually make more money, and it talks about premiums. Okay, so let's start off. So say you bought a silver eagle. Say you bought a silver eagle 5 years ago. Okay. Say you bought a silver eagle 5 years ago, and you bought it as a silver investment. Now, right now, those silver eagles would be worth about $20. Okay, because it's 5 years old. So basically, what you would have earned in the last 5 years is basically how, let's say, for the last 5 years. So you would have probably bought this for like $25 with the silver prices, or even more, $30. And you wouldn't have really made much money on it. You would have actually lost money because you bought this for the silver price and the safety. But if you decided to take a little more risk, okay, say you were willing to shell out that much over spot price, say you were willing to spend those hefty premiums, which is a risk because you don't know if you're going to make those premiums back when you go and sell it in 5 years. But say you decided to buy, I don't have it right now, but say you wanted to buy, one of the Year of the Tigers. Right now, one of the Year of the Tiger half ounces, not 1 ounce, are going for what, $60, 55, $60. So $60 for a half an ounce, that's $120 an ounce versus $20 an ounce. That's because of risk, and the more risk you take, the more rewards you get. Now let's talk about premiums. So dollar cost averaging is super important. I totally agree to that. And basically, I've been trying to dollar cost average, and my dollar cost average is about $16.30, something like that, per ounce. And I feel very happy with that. Now, the reason why I think dollar cost averaging shouldn't be as low, close to spot as possible, well, is because when you buy items very close to spot, you're talking about silver rounds, generic silver. We're talking about something that's not going to gain value because people aren't collecting generic silver. So, of course, you've got to diversify because, it's not good to have high premium items because you never know how you're going to sell. For example, there aren't too many buyers out there for, $120 an ounce. So, it's very important to diversify, but it's not always the best thing to buy your silver as close to spot as possible, because you are almost never going to be able to sell your generic silver back for above spot. Forget about spot price if you're selling to a dealer. You're going to get way lower than that. But so, you should actually consider premiums as, a version of diversification, because the higher premium items you get, the higher chances you have of selling them back for more, because higher premium items are collector items. A lot of times collectors buy high premium items, and whenever you're dealing with collectors, you're dealing with people who can act irrational towards something that they love. So they could be irrational with themselves in buying $100 half ounce coin. But you're not going to get that from a PM investor, right? So many times you should consider diversifying your portfolio with high premium items, because that has the potential to bring in the big bucks, but it also has more risk. And it's going to be tougher to sell. So you always have to have that diversification. But all I'm trying to say is you should always have some place for high premium items in your portfolio. Now let's talk about gold versus silver. Now, and why you can make so much more money in silver. Now, when you look at silver, the price of silver, $16. Now let's consider $16 in the terms of Starbucks drinks and Subway sandwiches. So you can get 4 Starbucks drinks, or if you're buying one of the grande items, you can get 3 Starbucks items for 1 ounce of silver. Now let's consider that for gold. Okay, we're talking about you know what man, this is a lot. uh 240 cups of grande Starbucks for 1 ounce of gold, right? So when you go ahead and sell, and Subway is pretty much the same, but when you go and you sell a half ounce of silver and you sell it because it's collector, if you sell a half ounce of silver for $50, well, people can afford $50 if it means they love silver collecting and they love that series. They can Most people can afford, or there's a higher number of people who can actually afford $50 if they're collectors. $50 for half ounce. Many times silver, content doesn't really play a big thing in this, but $50 for a half ounce, that's $100 an ounce. Now, if you were to multiply that same thing, say you were to sell half an ounce of gold for $4,000, you there's so much smaller of a market such that you will rarely get $4,000 for half an ounce of gold unless it's a really, really, really good collector's piece, and it's going to be very hard to find a buyer. So that's why silver has better potential to do well in terms of collector pieces and high premium pieces to gold, right? And lastly, I want to talk about the ratio between gold and silver. Now, the reason why I'm not getting into gold is more two reasons. Many of you only have one. My reasons are: one, it's expensive, and two, it's the bigger reason, the ratio. Um, well, most of you guys, it's only the ratio, and I absolutely agree. I think that silver is basically, if I can stack 50 ounces of silver, 55 ounces of silver, as I like Silver Slacker's number because that's the average, then if I can stack that 55 ounces now, which would be, in terms of the silver pricing at the moment, about 800 and maybe $810 of silver, I can basically get an ounce of silver. I'm basically locking in prices for possibly an ounce of silver down in the future. So basically, I think if you're looking to invest in gold, you should always have a gold ratio. It doesn't have to be 55, or it doesn't have to be 50. Don't have an outlandish 9-1, or as Silver Slacker said, or 20-1. That's probably not going to happen for a long time. But you should look at somewhere around the 50 to 60 ounce range, and then you should look at investing in gold if that's something that appeals to you, if you see it going up. So you should always consider in numbers like this. So anyway, guys, went over time with this. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, thank you.